Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. Man, I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like or you dislike, or even if you just want to outsmart me on something I said, go ahead, shoot me a quick call, 219-413-9405. And of course, we'll play your take back on our next episode. And shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code The Run Podcast. Now, this code can only be applied for first-time users on the mobile app or website. So I don't know about you, but I'm going to a couple of games this season. I have to. So I'm gonna go ahead, create me an account, and then, hey man, and then we're gonna be on with SeatGeek. Get that $20 off. Anyway, look, I got a special guest in the building with me today, man. Travis Hicks from Fox 47. He covers all of Detroit sports, man, and he's here. Travis, what's going on with you, bro? How you feeling today?
Man, pretty good, man. Glad to be back. Excited to talk football with you. It's been great, and excited to be back on the show.
Man, I am so happy to have you here. As you know, obviously, I had to bring you back on. I brought you on in the offseason. We talked a little bit about some expectations and stuff like that. But I got to bring you on because we're looking at week 3 right now in the NFL. Lions, they doing pretty well right now. We just seen them beat the Arizona Cardinals, and it was a good game. They took a tough L against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, another kind of a tough matchup in the NFC. But I got to ask here because we've seen a lot of different things going on in this matchup against the Arizona Cardinals, and I got the first thing I want to know. Did the Arizona Cardinals lose this game more than the Lions actually won this game? Lions won, the scoreboard shows they won 20-13, but did they lose this game, the Cardinals, lose it more than the Lions actually won?
Now, that is a great question. I'm going to say the Lions won, even though the Cardinals had chances to win. The reason I'll say the Lions won, the run game was phenomenal. Montgomery and Gibbs, I'm going to go on the record and say it, best running back duo in the league. They won us this game. Defense also played amazing too. Aiden Hutchinson, those boys holding a high-powered offense at 13 points because we saw what the Cardinals did the previous week against the Rams. But the reason why I say the run game won us the game, Goff played terrible in the second half. I'm sorry. After having a perfect first half, 12-12, literally 100 passer rating, going amazing. Then, making bad plays in the second half, the interception. The run game saved us. One thing I got to say moving forward, he has to be better. 20 points. We didn't score in the second half. The run game kept us apart to run out the clock. So it's a mixture of both. I'm going to say Lions won the game more than the Cardinals blew it.
Okay. And I get that. I can respect that. And you pointed out something too that I really noticed too is the run game. Oh my gosh, the run game, the Lions run game is monstrous, bro. It's clear, it's evident. You hit it right on the nail. They have the best running back duo in all of the NFL. Nobody's messing up with them when it comes to the ground game. And I was just happy to see them pretty much rely more on the ground game than what they did last week against the Buccaneers, because they saved it. They pretty much was saved by the run. And Jared Goff's stats looks like it might be nice. Like when you look at it, you see, 18 for 23. Damn, Goff played really good. But like you said, they didn't score. And there was a lot of handing the ball off to the running backs, which really kept them in the game. So it just makes me think, like looking at the numbers and things, this looks like a marvelous setup. It looks like, the Lions played really good. Goff played good. The running backs ate good. All of that stuff, because you got Lions, both backs had over 80 rushing yards. Goff completed 78% of his passes. So obviously we know the eye test says a different story, but what was one of the differences you noticed between the Lions offense in week 2 and week 3 as they won against the Arizona Cardinals?
I would say first halves we've been playing a lot better. But like the second half is just slowed down. Like yesterday, we got 3 touchdowns in that first half, 20 points, and we didn't score the rest of the game. Now, 20 points is not bad, but it's a little average. I think with the way the Lions offense is, the Lions have the most talented offense in the league. I'm just going to go ahead and say, you got Sam Laporta, J-Mo, St. Brown, all these weapons around Goff. that offense should at least get 28 to 35 points each and every single week. Then you got Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery in the backfield. Goff has to just play better. I'm not putting it all on him because it is obviously a team effort, but like he has to throw it more consistently. Like when we look at back-to-back games, he's throwing back-to-back picks. So those games we could have easily lost yesterday too. We could be 1-2 instead of 2-1. But one thing they got to do moving forward, I just need more consistency out of Goff. The first half, like I said, was flawless, literally 12 out of 12. If he can keep doing that, he has the weapons around him and the offensive line, so there's really no excuse.
Yeah, and Goff has been very wishy-washy. And I had Eric on here last week, and we were talking about Jared Goff. And
yeah, I know.
Eric don't really rock with Jared Goff. Eric not really. He he's good, whatever. But he was on the train of like Goff has to play better. It seems like you kind of follow a suit a little bit too of like, hey, Goff is straight, but he's got to play better. And I'm looking at the games. You see, it's kind of that inconsistency there of, okay, Goff is a good quarterback, clearly. But there's times where he's just really, really not on his game. And then truthfully, I got to bring up my guy, Kirk Cousins. Like Kirk Cousins usually is him in the clutch. Like we've been seeing, him play good so far and get better each week. But Goff, it hasn't been seen. Like he's getting better and better each week. And that's like, kind of scary for some Lions fans out there because you expect your team to get better each week. Obviously, the receiving core and all and the play call has improved on a week-to-week basis from, at least week 2 to week 3. We've seen them improve. But Jared Goff, I feel like he's going to be the biggest question for how far the Lions can actually go. Because we've seen the offense, when the play call is clicking and they're utilizing the run game, they look pretty damn good. The defense, as we know, is very impeccable. Obviously, one of the top defenses in the NFL already. I think that's very, very easy to say if you've been watching them. And then it just comes down to, when the game is close and you need to really get the offense going, if Jared Goff can make that happen. So I got to say this. Lions are 5th in rushing right now. They're top 5 in all yards in the NFL right now, total yards. How much of an impact do you think the ratio of them playing defense compared to their offense will have, like going against these other teams in the NFC? Because we see some powerhouses in the NFC. Obviously, we know San Francisco 49ers. They're a top team in the NFC right now. Maybe, I guess we got to worry about the Buccaneers. I think the Atlanta Falcons is another top team in the NFC. So, you got a lot of evenly talented teams in the NFC. And do you think they'll be okay like with an average offense or average quarterback play, to clarify, going against these teams in the NFC?
That's a great question. I think they need to get better and get more consistency because this year's path to an NFC championship or Super Bowl, way going to be harder than last year. You just made a good point. The Kirk Cousins and the Falcons nearly beat the Chiefs last night if it wasn't for a bad call. I know it's another conversation for another day. So, they're looking good. The Eagles just beat the Red Hot Saints. There's a lot of good teams. Obviously, you made the 49ers, and obviously the Vikings look amazing. So, for us, we got to get better. Like right now, the offense is looking like they're getting 21 points type of game. But we got to get more consistency just in the passing game because the running game, you made a good point. Been there. Gibbs and Montgomery, both 80-plus rushing yards. That is a fantasy owner. That's a dream. So, if we can match the run game with the pass game, I'm telling you, moving forward, it'll be amazing. Because defensively, Aiden Hutchinson, he has been a dog. The game against the Buccaneers we lost almost got the NFL record for sacks in the game. This man was unconscious.
Crazy.
So, if we can get that same intensity, and Ben Johnson does have some tricks up his sleeve. I'm not sure if you saw the highlight of when he threw it to St. Brown, he tossed it to Gibbs. You know what I'm saying? So,
that was crazy.
The trickery, I think it can be. So I'll say this: we need to get a little bit better. And I think with the offense, the way it's stat, I'm going to say it again, should be 28 to 35 points a game. There's no reason if we can get to that with the defense. I think the Lions can make a big run.
That's I like that. So I like that estimate. You said about 25 to 30 points. That was it, right? About
28 to 35, my bad.
28 to 35. Okay. I wanted to make sure I was quoting you right in the points, but I think that's good, man, because it's a lot of high-scoring offenses now, and not every team has the defense to hang around. And one of the things I'm certain in with the Lions is their defense. I don't really lack confidence in their defense. When it comes into the game, it's more so all right, how are they about to start scoring? Is Jared Goff going to be clicking? Is the offense going to be clicking? Is Ben Johnson going to call the right plays? It's never a question about the defense. But however, they're about to go against a team undefeated, 3-0 in the Seattle Seahawks. They've been playing pretty good. Seahawks are kind of a sleeper. Not many people have been paying attention to them just because they don't have like the huge names over there on that roster. What should be the focus for the Lions going into this game against the Seattle Seahawks in Week 4?
Now, I'll be honest. I know we just raved about the defense, but the defense is going to have to play big. Because I'll be honest, Geno Smith has had the Lions number for the last how many ever years, like last year especially, too, when he got us. I believe that was in Week 2 of the season. Geno Smith, for some reason, against the Lions turns to 07 Brady or like prime Peyton Manning. It's like one of the craziest things I've seen. So, and the Seahawks are a good team. They're one of 4 teams left undefeated, them, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and the Kansas City Chiefs. So Seattle's a threat. So to me,
Facts.
I think this is, in a way, a statement game could be for them. Primetime Monday night. This is a team who barely missed the postseason last year in Seattle. And, and they're trying to, keep up in the NFC. And we talk about these other teams. If Seattle wins this could be, with the way how the rankings are going, with the 49ers losing yesterday and the injuries they got, Seattle could really be one of the top teams seeding-wise. So I think the Lions, we have a tough schedule, considering the first few games. Defense has to play good and Goff has to be better. Now, to be honest, I think Geno Smith's going to have a better game than Goff, but if the run game and all that can come through, I think we could win the game, but I'll be real, it's not going to be easy.
It's definitely not going to be easy. And I like what you said, too. I respect the honesty. There's nothing more I love than an honest NFL fan. Even though you love the Lions and stuff, I just love that you were honest about Jared Goff might get outplayed. And I'm a firm believer Jared Goff is going to get outplayed. He got outplayed by Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, I would die on that hill. Baker Mayfield outplayed the shit out of Jared Goff, man. And we seen Baker Mayfield flip a whole new leaf. He was running out the pocket, scoring touchdowns, and I mean, he was getting the ball out, even though he was getting harassed in the pocket too. So it was just, it was crazy because he didn't get psyched out about like being tossed on the ground so many times by Hutchinson. So, I give credit to him, but Jared Goff is going to have to come with it because, I mean, we talk about the Lions and we know they're a hot team. We say, they're supposed to go to the Super Bowl and all of that, but you cannot sleep. One, this is a same conference team that you're going against. You may potentially see this team in the postseason going against the Seahawks. The Seahawks, as of right now, after the first 3 weeks in football, Seahawks, they have a top 2 defense in yards allowed. They're a top 5 passing offense in the NFL right now. So this is no team you want to go in playing around with. And then injuries. Obviously, we've seen some more injuries go down. Sam Laporta, I think he'll be okay. I think he'll bounce back. But it's just like the knick-knack injuries, those do come into play. And you kind of want to just set the tone right away, man, because you really might, this is a team you might see them later on in a wild card or first round, whoever knows. So I think it's something to definitely pay attention to. Other than that, man, look, anything you've seen with the Lions that you just got to add, you got to get off your chest, something you witnessed in Week 3 that you're thinking about?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I want to get J-Mo more involved. I think J-Mo, he has a spark about him. I think this is a breakout year. We saw what he did in Week 1. I want to see more of that. Now, Goff made a comment during practices. This was a few weeks ago on our local Channel 7, where he said, like, there's going to be some weeks Laporta gets more catches, St. Brown than J-Mo. I think J-Mo has to be the key guy. No disrespect to other guys, because I think everybody's great, St. Brown and Laporta. But J-Mo, he has a speed about him. You can use him in the slot. You can, do RPO. Like, he really is one of the fastest guys on the field. So I think he has to get more involved because J-Mo also brings the energy. I love how he's repping the city when he's out and about.
Man,
so
at Coney. He had Coney in there.
At Coney, he really
they calling him 6 Mile J. 6 Mile J now.
Exactly. Like, he's at Nicky D's. When you see J-Mo, you think he's from Detroit. So, like, I love how he's embracing it. And two, I just think he's so talented, man. Like, I really want to see him break out more in golf, find him more touches. And two, like, one thing with Goff, and this is kind of an ability he can't really, like, when you made a good point about Baker Mayfield, I wish Goff was more mobile. Like, Baker was making dudes, like, he was, crossing dudes up. Basically, he was Kyrie or somebody. Like, I wish he could move out the pocket because Goff can be dangerous in the pocket, but when he starts moving out, he becomes a liability because the guys can get to him to sack, and he's not really running. So, we'll see.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on the J-Mo part for sure. J-Mo has to get involved, and I think he's a elite weapon that the Lions have. And part of me feels like they know it. Part of me, I feel like it should comfort some Lions fans because I mean, he's involved. We see him kind of move around in different areas in the offense. We see some receiver options and stuff sometimes. Obviously, they try and get him the ball in open space, but sometimes you see a quick pitch or a quick toss to J-Mo in motion, like, just the small things. So part of me feels like they understand, like, this guy is a huge piece of our offense. But I would also love to see Gibbs or Montgomery like work out from the slot too, bro. Because I mean, not many people have that opportunity and have that advantage of having elite running backs like that. I've been saying this. I'm like, man, we see how the Saints utilize Kamara. We see how other teams, even the Chiefs, the way they utilize Pacheco and their skill guys. Like, not only are they in the backfield, but you put them in the slot, you put them in motion, just kind of keep the defense guessing. And I think that could really, really take the Lions offense to another level. Other than that, though, man, look, hey, go ahead. Let the people know where they can find you, bro. Let them know where they can find your YouTube, your Instagram, all of your work as well. And I didn't even mention it in the beginning, but, dog, my boy Travis Hicks interview Magic Johnson. Interview the great Magic Johnson, the second best point guard ever to touch a basketball. I'm sorry, I know this might be disrespectful to some, but like, that's another conversation for a different day. Still Hall of Famer, the greatest, one of the greatest ever. Travis, man, let them know where they can find you.
Thank you so much. I'm a Steph fan, so I think Steph's a go PG as well. But yeah, you guys can follow me.
I hope you ain't tell Magic that.
No, I didn't.
No, I'm playing.
Travis _reporter on Twitter, Travis Hicks _reporter on Instagram, Travis Hicks on Facebook, and YouTube, Travis Hicks _reporter. I'm gonna have content from the news stories I do and sports takes as well. And Manny, is always amazing talking sports with you. And I hope to come back on here when the Lions and Bears meet up.
Oh, man. Hey, yeah, that's going to be rough. We already know. Boy, the Bears ain't got a shot now right now. The way they looking. You got to talk to me when they play the Birds. Yeah, you got to talk to me when they play the Birds, man. Okay. The Birds actually good this year, so I can talk a little trash about it. But, other than that, I was like, I guess I'll side with the Bears or whatever. But, no, the Birds good. So I can come out the closet again and, really rep the dirty bird. So other than that, look, man, hey, if you out there listening, look, we got some more stuff coming up in just a sec, man. Some news is coming up. News for the run. Of course, man, leave a quick take too on our voicemail line if you want to get involved, man. 219-413-9405. And of course, we'll play your take on our next episode. But we got a couple game recaps coming up in just a second. There's some news that you got to hear. So we'll be right back. It's halftime. All right, man. So look, we got to crack into some of these games that happened because we had some very, very controversial things going on NFL Sunday in Week 3. Now, Travis Hicks is still here with me. Fox 47 covers all of Detroit sports, but well-rounded in all of the sports teams. So still here with me. And Travis, I gotta have you help me break something down here because, being in Chicago, I'm surrounded by so many Bears fans. I want to support Bears fans because I live here. I want to support. I ain't gonna lie. But they make it so damn hard for a brother to be supporting the Bears, bro. Like, I'm trying to be friendly. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be like, okay, whatever. I live here, so let's support the Bears. But recently, we seen them lose to the Indianapolis Colts, 21-16. Bears did not look that good. Caleb Williams threw over 50 passes, which is insane, and they still ended up losing the game. And I have some firm thoughts because I've been saying that the Bears, they, as an organization, is the problem of what's been going on, of why we've been seeing bad play, bad calling, all sort of things. They tried to put it on Justin Fields. They said Justin Fields was the issue. We can't win with a quarterback like Justin Fields. And then all of a sudden, we get a new guy called Caleb Williams, who's supposed to be the savior of the Chicago Bears. And he's supposed to be so much better than Justin Fields. He's supposed to be the holy grail that the Bears have never seen in Chicago, that Chicago has never ever seen in a quarterback ever. But then this guy is still no better than Justin Fields. The O-line still can't protect anything from, man, oh my gosh, they're worse than, I can think of some TSA officers who can protect Justin or Caleb Williams better than the Chicago Bears linemen out there right now. The play calling is just ridiculous. I'm seeing them call a speed option on 4th and goal, which is just ridiculous. And then as they call the speed option, there's not a single soul blocking anybody. This was just garbage, bro. It was garbage. And I'm like at the point, I'm done, man. I know it's week 3, but they saying Bears fans is on suicide watch, which I firmly believe. I see it happening live and direct here. But look, Trav, look, what's going on with these Chicago Bears, man? Is it a coaching thing? Is it Caleb Williams? Is it like what is it, bro? What is it with them? What are you seeing with the Chicago Bears?
And Manny, you hit the head on the nose. I think it's a mixture of everything. I think everybody that's in that house does not deserve their own room. I think Caleb Williams, like just to be real, Caleb Williams, I understand, he was a #1 draft pick, all this stuff. I get it. He has not thrown a touchdown pass in 3 weeks. This man's closest touchdown pass was a Hail Mary before the half. They got stopped at the 1. That would have been cool if he got it, but that's neither here nor there because it didn't happen. So Caleb Williams, one thing I got to just say, stop writing checks you can't cash. You told the punter before the season, you're not going to punt that much. The Bears have punted the most times in the NFL just in 3 weeks. So, to me, it's just it's a humbling experience because, what he saw in preseason is different than playing with actual grown men. He was playing against some practice squad guys, trying to make the team. So it's going to be different. I'm happy you brought up the Justin Fields thing because it was not his fault. It's the system. It's the organization. And I truly hope Caleb Williams gets better. I don't want to see him, be bad, but I think he just needs to stop writing checks he can't cash. And, it's a humbling experience. It's different than USC.
Facts, bro. And that's just it, bro. I'm like, from the very, very beginning, since they first, even before they drafted Caleb Williams, bro, they did so much. They did so much to decorate this Bears team and give them so much promise. You put receiving pieces. You got a defense that's actually not that bad. The defense is pretty damn good in Chicago, but it's the defense, of course, is going to look garbage when your offense can't help them out at all. So it's they did all of these different things to help Caleb Williams come into probably one of the best situations that you can come into in terms of having offensive weapons. However, they just forgot one silly piece that is going to make or break the whole thing, and that's having an offensive line. And then now it's bro, it's so evident because one, you still ain't got no offensive line. And then on top of not having an offensive line, your play calling is still atrocious. So that's hurting them even more. And now to make it even better, which I love, I really love this part right here. This is really going to get some of y'all. I love that we're seeing Justin Fields thrive in another system, in another organization that is 3-0. And not only is this team 3-0, not only do they have a great defense, but the offense is helping out the defense that's so great over in there in Pittsburgh. And I just got to give them their flowers, bro, because this dude, Justin Fields, looks like a completely different quarterback. I saw a statistic today. It said the only quarterbacks it was a statistic that compared him and Aaron Rodgers, and I'll have to find it to be 100% exact, but it was the only 2 quarterbacks that have a certain completion percentage over the first 3 weeks of the NFL, and it's Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers side by side. We would have never had that conversation a few years back. And I don't think we'll ever have that conversation about a Bears quarterback until they clear house. So, with Justin Fields doing what he's doing and watching him ball out over in Pittsburgh, what do you think that secret sauce is there? And, what do you think they're doing different that the Chicago Bears haven't done in their organization?
This is honestly the best I've seen Justin Fields play since college, since Ohio State. He just looks more confident, more comfortable. And he's just happy. They're 3-0. They have the best defense in the league. They're allowing 10 or fewer points, which is the most the Steelers have done in 15 years. I'm talking about the Troy Polamalu, James Harrison days when they were winning Super Bowls. Justin Fields, I believe this Steelers team is a playoff team. I'm not going to say they're going to win the AFC or make an AFC title game, but I believe they can make a wild card. And they got a chance in their division. Justin Fields is throwing dots. This man had over 200 total yards yesterday. He can run on his feet. And he was, he had a passing touchdown too. So with the weapons and system he's in, this is a perfect system because the Steelers have been struggling to get a quarterback since Big Ben retired. Because we saw Kenny Pickett wasn't it. And Russell Wilson he's just an old veteran now. He's just going to do his thing from the sideline. But Fields, this is perfect, dude. He's a dual threat. And Mike Tomlin, dude's never had a losing season. So he finally got the young quarterback he could breed for some time. And it kind of shows to the Bears, it's you lost a good one. You lost somebody that you could have. And DJ Moore, I saw an interview he did a year ago that they retweeted last week saying, Justin Fields is better than a lot of these guys in the 2024 draft. He said this last season. So he knew what they were losing. So I'm happy to see him thrive, and I think they're a playoff team.
And it's crazy that you bring up the DJ Moore thing, too, because toward the back end of the season, and we talked about this in the offseason, we had a conversation. We were saying, okay, the Bears started to look better. They looked pretty good with Justin Fields at the end of last season. They played the Lions, and they had an advantage. We seen a connection of DJ Moore and Justin Fields. They were thriving. It's just the defense was a little weaker back then, so they couldn't really close the deal against a tough Detroit Lions team. And I mentioned like 3 or 4 other games where this was the same exact case. But above all, we seen that connection between Justin Fields and the chemistry of everybody else on that offense start to gel a little bit better than what we've seen them start. But now all of a sudden, tables turn, and now you reset all of that. Now you reset your receiver quarterback connection. You reset your quarterback offensive lineman connection, your quarterback running back connection. You reset all of that stuff, and it plays a huge part in having awful play calling, again, just does not help. And the thing that really bothers me, it just drives me crazy, because I look at the stats and everything, and I see Caleb Williams. People are drooling over the fact that he almost threw for 400 yards. Seen a statistic. It said he's the only Chicago Bears quarterback to throw for over 360 yards, within his first 3 games. And I'm like, okay, that stuff sounds cute. It looks good. It looks nice on paper when you see a fancy graphic. But also, the thing people are forgetting, you give damn near any quarterback 50 chances to throw the ball, he's going to throw for 400 yards. Can you imagine giving C.J. Stroud 50 freaking chances to throw the ball? It's ridiculous. Jared Goff had, hey, that was a terrible example, but Jared Goff had 50 chances.
He had 55.
I got to mess with the Lions fans a little bit. And it was just abnormal. It was abnormal to see quarterbacks throw the ball that much. So it's wild, man. And
the thing is, not to cut you off, Manny.
No, you good.
50 pass attempts with no touchdown passes.
No touchdowns. Like, it's wild, bro. And I'm looking at like the play calling and just how the offense is orchestrated between them and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And like, I'm like, Steelers really struck gold at this point. And I just got to leave with this. I'll leave with this. Should they continue to start Justin Fields? I believe they should, because he roll with the hot hand. Hell, roll with the hot hand. He's balling. He's doing his thing. But I got to ask you, should they keep going with Justin Fields, or, insert Russ as a starter, as they proclaimed in the beginning of the season?
No, keep Justin Fields. You keep riding the hot hand. And 2, this is the best scenario for the Steelers. They got Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. People are like, why do you guys have 2 starting quarterbacks? Justin Fields is a younger guy. You can develop him. He could be their starting quarterback if his cards play right for the next 10 years. He could be their next franchise guy. He's still young, so I will keep rolling with Justin Fields. And if he continues to have a good season, you make the postseason, this is your guy for the future. Because they've been looking for somebody to have stability to replace Big Ben, because you've had the defense. Now you got the quarterback for your offense. This is a playoff team.
Absolutely, bro. I 1,000% agree with that, especially just because, Fields, he's been playing out of this world, bro. You got to keep him. He's younger. Like, he's only going to get better from here with the right guidance. So I gotta agree with you on that. You stick with Justin Fields. But look, there's about to be some more, because, man, there was another game. And I gotta just go ahead and let loose about it, but we'll touch on it in just a sec. All right, and let's get into it, man. News for the run. So starting off with the college football, the Pac-12 conference, they're still looking to add some new schools to this conference here. So last week it was confirmed that Oregon State, Fresno State, Colorado State, and Boise State would all join the Pac-12. However, in the past few days, it's been confirmed that Gonzaga will also join the Pac-12, and there are even more rumors that's circulating that's saying that the Pac-12 is trying to add Memphis and UNLV. So Pac-12 is still growing out here. The conference is not dead just yet. And also to give you some of the college football rankings, man. So some of the schools that's ranked top 5 right now, some of them moved up, some of them moved down. But Texas is at number 1 on the AP poll. Georgia is sitting at number 2. Ohio State is at number 3. And Alabama's at number 4. Then you got Tennessee at number 5. One of the teams that jumped is Miami. Miami jumped up a couple spots, so now they're sitting at number 7. We know they got Heisman candidate Cam Ward over there. That man has been balling. Also, too, Penn State, they're sitting at number 9. Oregon at number 8. Another exciting thing, too, some of the teams that kind of jumped up, we've seen that USC versus Michigan matchup there. In Michigan, they popped up to number 12 after that victory. USC, they dropped down a couple slots, and now they're at 13. But anyway, check out the AP poll. A couple of college changes that done happened, but got a couple of good matchups coming up this week. But anyway, let's move to the NFL and give you a couple recaps on the scores in week 3. So for week 3, we've seen the New York Giants. They defeated the Cleveland Browns, which was crazy. The Colts, they beat down on the Bears 21-16. Texans, they fell short to the Vikings 34-7. Eagles, they were too much for the Saints, winning that game 15-12. The Steelers, they put belt to ass against the Chargers, winning 20-10. The Denver Broncos surprisingly beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 26-7. The Miami Dolphins, they stood no chance against the Seahawks, losing that game 24-3. The Rams, they beat the 49ers. The Lions, they beat the Cardinals 20-13. And the Ravens, they popped the Cowboys, but it was close. Cowboys came back, but the Ravens ended up winning 28-25. And the Atlanta Falcons and the Kansas City Chiefs dueled off against each other. And the Chiefs, they won this game 22-17. This game was wild, man, because, I could not believe the outcome that I witnessed in this Kansas City Chiefs game here. It was just crazy to look at, bro. Obviously, it was a great game. It was close all around. I'm very proud of a couple different things here, and I got to go ahead and admit it right off the back is, Falcons defense ain't nothing to play around with. I think, at this point, it's evident the Falcons have a legitimate defense, as I've stated in the previous weeks right before the season and even in the upcoming games of the season and all through the season. I've been saying it. That defense is nothing to play around with. We've seen this game come down to the wire. Kirk Cousins did his job of driving the ball downfield. He got the ball downfield. This offense has looked better and better as time has went on. It's aging like fine wine, and I think this Atlanta Falcons offense is going to continue to get better and better as time goes on because we've seen a play call a lot more fluent. We've seen the plays executed a lot more fluent than what we've seen in the past. Kirk Cousins is actually getting the ball downfield. Bijan Robinson is still rushing for a good amount of yards on the ground. We're seeing the offensive linemen block key guys and have some good plays there. However, the thing that concerns me, I know I just talked about how great the play call was, but we also seen the Falcons have a stupid play call at the end of the game. Fourth and inches, game was on the line, and they decided to do an outside run to Bijan Robinson there. And I kind of want to dissect this play because watching it, when you're looking at it, the intensity's high. You think it was just a terrible play call. You think it just wasn't executed. It was just insane. You're fourth and inches. I'm a firm believer. Hey, run that shit up the middle. Don't be scared. Just hit the hole. Who cares? Kirk, dive in there. It doesn't matter, bro. You're fourth and inches. You just got to go for it. And hey, punch it up the middle. That's my belief. Obviously, they did something different, and come to find out, in some interviews, Kirk Cousins said, hey, it was better. It was the call. Bijan Robinson actually said that it was Kirk Cousins' call, which is okay. I respect it. And looking back at that film, you see it was Tyler Algier. He missed a block, a crucial block that would have really made this play work. And then obviously we could have been looking at a different ball game. But before all of that even happened, it's so much to unpack. We had the PI call in the end zone that could have completely changed the game. I say, going back to the play call, it was poorly executed, missed the block, and it could have changed the game. However, let's rewind and work from there, because in order for the Falcons to even get the ball, to have that opportunity to go downfield and to have the opportunity to call a bad play or to not execute a play, they had to get a 3-0 against the Kansas City Chiefs. They had to stop the Kansas City Chiefs 3 down straight. And damn it, they did that. And that deserves like a lot of praise. It's not going to get the hype that people want, and it's not going to get all the glory that everybody's going to celebrate for. But you got to realize, bro, after that no call pass intercept, or after that no call pass interference that Kyle Pitts should have received, the Chiefs got the ball back, but the Atlanta Falcons defense still somehow managed to stop the Kansas City Chiefs and got a 3-and-out. Like, that's something the Falcons should be proud of. That's something they should definitely be applauding and be happy about, because that's not an easy thing to do. Most teams that go against the Chiefs and their defense has to get the ball back for the offense to have a chance to win a game, the game is over. We know the kind of offense that the Chiefs have. We know how great the Chiefs are on both sides of the ball, really. So for the Falcons defense to stand tall, not only once and twice throughout the middle of the game and throughout the clutch moments of the game, but the last stretch that could have really solidified the win for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Falcons defense stood tall, and they got the ball back for Kirk Cousins to eventually go down and have a bad play call, whatever. But that's something you should be proud of, and that's a positive you can see through this game and that you can carry on to next week. Is because you know your defense is riding high on some sort of momentum. They're going to go play the New Orleans Saints, which is going to be tough. Obviously, it's going to be a rivalry. It is a rivalry game, so obviously it's going to be tough. But you have the Saints at home in Atlanta again, and you know your defense is solid. They play good already at home. Just so happened things didn't happen to go their way. But you can live with a loss like that. Fans, we gonna struggle. Atlanta Falcons fans, we gonna struggle, because we gonna be like, look, that was a BS no call. We need to call. But above all, you did your part. You executed plays, especially on the defense. And as long as that offense continues to age like fine wine, the Atlanta Falcons have absolutely nothing to worry about in the upcoming weeks. I think they're solidified. They're going to be straight. You play the Saints, you got your division play coming up, and it's going to be tough because, as we know, we've been saying that the NFC South is really a toss-up all year. It's going to be a toss-up. The Buccaneers, they've been looking pretty good. The Saints obviously look like a different team. Derek Carr's been playing good. And then, oh my gosh, I really hope the Panthers don't just kind of emerge as another sleeper team in the NFC South, because Andy Dalton, that man balled out. He balled out. He did his thing. I'm happy for him, but I really don't need another contender in the NFC South right now as an Atlanta Falcons fan. So I would just say these are the teams we're going to see in the next few weeks. So it's going to be tough already, but above all, hey, continue to age like fine wine and continue to get better each week, and Atlanta Falcons have nothing to worry about in terms of how great they'll be in getting in the playoffs and being an elite team in this conference. So I think they got it, and even though it was an L, it's something to build off of. It's something where you continue to keep some momentum, you learn, and you look at different things throughout the game that you could have done a bit better. Shout out to my running backs on the Falcons, man. They be doing a thing. Bijan Robinson. I don't know why I just brain farted on his name, but man, Bijan Robinson. I keep looking at the game, and throughout the game, watching how he's protecting Kirk Cousins, and man, that's tremendous, man. His pass blocking is amazing. I'm loving it. I'm loving watching him pass block. And you know, this is an element where most running backs don't even want to do, but he's taking these hits for Kirk Cousins, and it's dope, man. It's dope to watch. We just need to execute a little bit better down the stretch, and things will be all right. We'll be good.